Alright, I'll be back momentarily.
Formations like these require long hours of intensive drilling and careful judgment. When the troop goes around the corner, the riders on the outside of the turn have to adjust their speed to keep even with the riders on the inside. The man on the outside has to ride a lot farther and a lot faster in order to keep up with the parade. The outside wheels must spin faster than the wheels on the inside, because they have a greater distance to travel in the same length of time. When a wagon turns a corner, the wheels can travel at different speeds because each one can turn freely on the axles. And in the early automobiles, the rear wheels turned separately and only one wheel was connected to the engine. But when only one wheel was driven by the engine, it had to do all the work, and it couldn't get a good enough grip on the road to do its job properly. So the one-wheel drive was soon out of date. But if two wheels are locked on an axle so that they are not free to turn separately, one or the other has to slide. So engineers had to find a way to connect both rear wheels to the engine without sliding and slipping on turns. The device which makes this possible is a part of the rear axle. It is called the differential because it can drive the rear wheels at different speeds. The differential looks complicated, but once we understand its principle, it is amazingly simple. These two wheels are mounted on separate axles and supported by a frame so that they can revolve freely at different speeds. Let's fasten a spoke on the inner end of each axle, so that by turning the spokes, we can turn each wheel separately. With a bar or crosspiece, we can turn both wheels in the same direction at the same rate of speed. Let's get something to hold this bar in place so that it will press against the spokes. Notice that this support is not locked to the axle. It turns freely. Now, we can spin the wheels by rotating the support. This is fine, as long as both wheels are able to turn at the same speed. But let's see what happens when we go around the corner. With this arrangement, we cannot drive one wheel faster than the other. And if we stop one wheel, the other wheel won't budge. Let's put this bar on a pivot so that it can swing in either direction. Now, the bar can still turn both wheels at the same speed. And because it pivots, it lets one wheel turn even when the other is stopped. But if turned too far, the bar will swing around until it won't drive the spokes that turn either wheel. We need another crossbar and more spokes to carry on the job. When we stop one wheel, the crossbars will continue to push the spokes of the free wheel around. As long as both wheels are free to turn, the bars do not swing on their pivot, and the wheels move at the same speed. Now we have the working principles of a differential. To adapt the model for use in an automobile, we will have to make a few changes. In order to reduce the jerky action caused by wide spaces between the spokes, we will put in more spokes. Further filling in the spaces between the spokes gives steadier, more continuous action, and changing the shape gives firm, constant contact. Now we can make the gears thicker and stronger, and we have differential gears. The edges are cut so that they will fit together more smoothly and silently, and another gear is added to share the work of driving the axles. The principle is the same. In order to turn the support and drive the wheels, we can fasten a large gear here, connected by a smaller gear to a source of power. Notice that the power is connected to the differential at the center line. We can make our model more compact by moving the gears closer together. When we put our differential in an automobile, we have to leave room for the drive shaft, which carries the power from the engine. We may build the floor of the car above the drive shaft. But if we do, we won't have much room inside unless we make the top of the car high too. Of course, we could lower the floor and ceiling, but the drive shaft would be higher than the floor. This would have disadvantages. A shaft in the middle of the floor of an automobile would be inconvenient for passengers and would be awkward for carrying luggage. Today, engineers have found a way to make the car roomier and closer to the road without a clumsy shaft above the floor. The drive shaft from the engine to the differential is lowered out of the way, and the drive shaft is connected to the rear axle at the bottom. The new low center drive makes the rear axle quieter, stronger, and more durable because it gives better, smoother contact between the gears. The automobile of today with the low center drive is stronger and more rugged. Every part of the rear axle has been built to withstand strains far greater than it will ever meet on the straightaway or around the corner. Meet Mr. Archimedes of ancient Greece. Long ago, Archie said,
"Give me a lever long enough and I can move the world."
What Archimedes meant was that the power of a lever is practically unlimited. Today, almost everyone uses some form of lever in his daily work. The familiar can opener is a lever with a sharp cutting edge. The playground seesaw is just a simple lever too. It takes a lot of force to start a freight car moving, yet the railroad man can start the heaviest freight cars easily with a pinch bar, a powerful lever which turns the wheel. Tough luck, old boy. Here's a place where a lever comes in mighty handy. Let's take the simplest kind of lever, a rigid bar working on a fixed support called a fulcrum. One end of this lever is twice as long as the other. Let's put a 10-pound weight on this end, and now we'll put half as much weight on this end. 5 pounds, balance 10. If we have 25 pounds to lift, we just use a longer lever. The 5 pounds will now balance 5 times as much. Let's raise the lever in the air, change its shape a little, and we have a crank. Or we can add a second lever and have a double crank. Now the short arm moves 1/4 the distance, but we get 4 times the force. If we want continuous motion, we need more arms. Now we have levers that turn. The larger paddle wheel makes fewer turns, but it delivers more force. A paddle wheel is nothing but a never-ending series of levers. We can make the wheels stronger and lessen friction where the wheels touch each other by rounding off the edges and shaping them into teeth that will slide in and out smoothly. Now, the power flows smoothly and continuously through spinning leverage of gear wheels. Gears are made in many kinds and many sizes. Little gears, big gears, worm gears, bevel gears, and even lopsided gears. Over 100 million gears are spinning over the roads in the transmissions of our automobiles. The transmission is located right at the bottom of the gear shift lever. Let's start from scratch and put together a model of the gears that we shift in our motor car. The shaft on the left comes from the engine. The shaft on the right carries the power back to the rear wheels. To connect these two with gears, we'll need another shaft, known as a counter shaft. These two gears carry the power from the engine shaft to the counter shaft and are always connected or in mesh. This gear on the drive shaft going to the wheels is free to turn around the shaft. We'll put it in mesh with another gear on the counter shaft. These gears are always in mesh and keep turning while the engine is running. To switch from one set of gears to another, our transmission needs a short shaft like this, known as a clutch sleeve. It cannot turn on the drive shaft, but it is free to slide back and forth. On the sleeve, we'll mount a large gear, which we can shift back and forth to mesh with the small gear in the middle of the counter shaft. We are now in neutral. The gears that are always in mesh are turning over with the engine, but the shaft to the rear wheels is standing still. A 3,000-pound automobile takes a lot of force to start. So in low speed, we get the greatest leverage by letting the smallest gear on the counter shaft turn the largest gear on the drive shaft. The engine on this model is running at a constant speed of 90 revolutions a minute. With low gears in mesh, the rear wheel is turning at 30 revolutions a minute, about a third the speed of the engine, but with 3 times the force. The power is going through these gears in the transmission. After we've started the car rolling, we want fast pickup. So we shift into second by sliding the sleeve backward to mesh with this gear on the shaft to the rear wheels. The wheel is now turning at 60 revolutions a minute, and the power flows through these gears. For higher speeds, we let the power go directly to the rear wheels. We shift the sleeve forward so that it meshes with the shaft from the engine. The power travels straight from the engine to the drive shaft. Now the shaft to the wheels is turning at 90 revolutions a minute, the same speed as the engine. But here's a problem. An automobile must be able to go backward as well as forward. So we add one more set of gears to reverse the shaft to the rear wheels. With the gears shifted into reverse, the power travels through the transmission in a path like this. We now have 3 sets of spinning levers for going forward and 1 for reverse. With a gear shift lever, we can shift to any set of gears we wish. But with all these spinning levers in the transmission came noise and wear. Experts could shift gears quietly by careful timing of the gear shift and the engine speeds, but most of us made plenty of noise until new engineering developments made possible the long series of improvements that followed. When we shifted gears, we got a clash because the gears were not running at the same speed. In other words, not synchronized. So engineers set to work to develop a synchronizer. The synchronizer works like a cork twisted into the top of a bottle. The cork will turn until it is so tight that the bottle turns with it. Synchro mesh works the same way. When we shift into second or high, the synchronizer brings the gears to the same speed before they come together. The drums won't let the gears shift unless they are turning at the same speed. When the gears come together, there is no clash, and the shift is made quietly and easily. In the transmission of the up-to-date automobile, we have a powerful low gear to give us a strong spinning leverage in starting. A fast-turning motor must set the weight of the car in motion. In second speed, we can change leverage to get going fast at the same engine speed. With the leverage of third gear, power goes directly to the rear wheels, and we can go as fast as we want. Now, every driver can shift gears at any time, regardless of speed. Here is a hill that will give us a real chance to see how smoothly and reliably our spinning levers work in our automobile transmission. This driver is going to let her car gain a speed of 60 miles an hour down the hill. Then she will shift into second speed and bring her car easily and safely under control before it reaches the bottom of the hill.
All right. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to try to soldier this out here, and we'll go from there. So, welcome to Space News. All right, so, let's see, what do you got? Okay, I'm impressed. A film of this age using a woman driver without dumb jokes and insults. Okay, that wasn't really a thing. Like, in commercials. Yeah. Maybe a cultural thing. No, that didn't really show up in commercials, man. You can go find... It's funny, actually, because One time, Brimo and I were watching like car adverts from the 50s about like teaching people how to sell cars, and they were all like, "Make sure you appeal to the woman, because the woman has the purchasing power in the household." It's true. Statistically, that's a statistical truth. That's a statistical truth, which is kind of funny actually. You could slow down by shifting down? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, guys, if you have that, how many times has Dad been like, "Oh, yeah, we should buy a new speedboat"? No, you're not gonna buy a speedboat. All right, I'm not buying a speedboat. See what I'm talking about? Of course, weather guy. Yeah. Still true. Yep, engine braking is absolutely a thing. Sure. I downshifted many times in the truck during Route 154 to slow down, to keep temperature out of the brakes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, guys, yeah, it wasn't really, that's more of a cultural thing, XPZ. It wasn't a thing with advertising. Oh, yeah. Advertisers knew the truth, man. Yeah. Space News, Long March 6, the first Chinese rocket with SRBs. That's neat. All right. Yeah, actually, big rigs have a big rigs have something called the Jake brake, which is where they use the valve train from the motor to slow down. You've heard Jake brakes before. It's when trucks are approaching a light and they go. Yeah, Jake brakes. Oh yeah, downshifting all the time. Really, really helps with trucks. You're using the friction from the driveline to slow down. All right, let's see. What do we have? I'm not really interested in covering Long March 6, but yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna keep this space news kind of on the short side because I'm gonna try to get some rounds in with Taradra, I guess, a little bit later tonight. I don't know, man. It really depends if my stomach decides to hold up. I drank some Pepto-Bismol for break. It was great. And then had some soup crackers. Space news. Okay, USA supports. The USA is supporting Indian lunar and solar missions. Oh, that's pretty cool. Neat. All right. Okay, so did you get the ABL news link? No, I don't think so. I'm gonna have to start cutting that. We don't need to share that. Okay. Yeah, let's start. We can start with ABL stuff. Oh man. Okay, let's go. For the first time, ABL Space Systems RS-1 first stage has been raised vertical at Kodiak's Launchpad 3C. This is coming from Space Scout. So let's see. The 27-meter tall rocket will fly for the first time as soon as this summer, carrying two Omnitech 6U CubeSats to a 250 by 350 kilometer orbit. Let me see what they got here. Ah, where's the EJ? I'm here. Relax. I love the paint scheme. The paint scheme is very, very, very cool. If you want 1 hour to waste on B-roll, Oh dear. Oh dear. We'll check that out. Yeah, it does look like Mercury. Yeah, that's cool. RS1. Sweet. Nice picture. Alright, well, good for them. ABL they were trying to get ready to launch RS1, and they were doing a static fire on their second stage and had a little bit of trouble, so that delayed the launch a little bit. So yeah, I love it. I love that it looks like Redstone. That's really freaking cool. That's throwback, dude. The checkerboard is aesthetic as hell. B-roll on the pad. Oh, I think I already have this. I think that's 632. Yeah, I already have it open. That's right, I already had it. Sweet. All right. So, really cool footage. Yeah, I see the hydraulics on the side. It looks like those hold down points are like this, and they just open like that, Thomas. The first stage was raised for pre-launch test. The second stage was meant to fly. That was meant to fly on this blew up in January. Yeah. Yeah, some trouble. Redstone-esque. Yeah, just need some fins down at the bottom, huh? Full render of the vehicle by Levy. Alright, let's see. Yeah? Cool. Cool. Very nice. Sweet. So that's the inner stage. I got it. Cool. Yeah, oh hey, it's Lavi. Yep. And yeah, they got a deflector going out this side. Cool. Also, an interesting layout of the engines. It's a circle of 9 engines. Interesting. Not 8 with 1 in the center. Cool. All right. So what's this? You know what? Let's do this. Actually, you know what? We'll go with this, and then I'll move that over there, and then we'll do a Starship update. Maybe after that. I'm suspect of ABL. Their head of propulsion was fired from Relativity before he was at ABL. He came to ABL, and then they immediately blew up a second stage and fired him. Really? Uh-oh. Oops. That's not good. Is it? Really, Frey? Okay. The person has some bad juju. All right, so this is coming from Irene Klotz. All right, Senior Space Editor at Aviation Week. All right. So some tidbits from the OneWeb launch deal coming up in the next issue of Aviation Week. We thank SpaceX for their support, which reflects our shared vision for the boundless potential of space. OneWeb CEO Neil Masterson said in a statement. The negotiations with SpaceX took 72 hours. Masterson told Aviation Week on the conference sidelines. OneWeb launches aboard SpaceX Falcon 9 rockets will take place from Florida using the Polar Launch Corridor SpaceX reopened in 2020 after a 50-year hiatus. OneWeb plans to modify the Soyuz rocket satellite dispenser built by RUAG to accommodate the Falcon 9, an industry source tells Aviation Week. OneWeb and manufacturing partner Airbus are starting what, if any, payload accommodations can be made to take advantage of the Falcon 9's greater lift capacity. The rocket can carry up to 50,000 pounds into low Earth orbit. It's about 25 metric tons, guys, give or take. It's a little bit less than that. I think it's like 22,500 kilograms. Roughly 3 times what a Soyuz 2-1B can lift. The polar flight path from Florida, as well as SpaceX's preference to return its first stage boosters for reflight, will reduce the Falcon's lift capacity for OneWeb. The modified satellite dispenser will also be a key factor in how many OneWeb satellites will fly on Falcon 9. OneWeb had been launching batches of 34 or 36 satellites on Soyuz rockets to fly from Baikonur, the European Space Agency's spaceport in French Guiana, and the Vostochny Cosmodrome in Russia's Far East. The satellites weigh about 330 pounds a pop, so 150 kilos. I'm sorry, that makes me laugh, man. Oh, jeez. 72 hours, man. Oh my god, that's funny. It's so, dude. I don't. Okay. All right, so SpaceX actually gave us speaking of Falcon 9, SpaceX gave us a really awesome picture on Twitter of the Transporter 4 mission, which is a rideshare mission. So it's a bunch of small satellites stacked on top of each other with payload dispensers. On this flight are 40 spacecraft, including CubeSats, Microsats, Picosats, hosted payloads, and an orbital transfer vehicle. There's a bunch of good stuff on here. Look at all this. Look at all this stuff. It's like a Christmas tree. How long does it usually take? Contract negotiations? Not 72 hours. Like this, that usually could be. It could be 72 hours. It could be months. 72 hours is closer to the really short scale. I mean, dude, we said that they would do this as a joke, you know, when Rogozin and Roscosmos taped over all the international flags and then took the rocket down. We thought that, I was like, yeah, you know what? You know, they'll launch it on SpaceX. Watch. And everyone's, you know, we were, like, I said it out loud, and I'm like, there's no way that's happening. Why would they launch the cup? Nope, they did it. It ain't a joke no more. Transporter 4 is net April 1st from Slick 40, launching on 1061.7. That will land on Just Read the Instructions. They should name the mission Nimbus 2000. That's pretty funny, man. I've heard that the OneWeb contract is up to $8 billion. That's, dude, SpaceX, you know what the messed up part is? There's probably enough telecommunications demand for OneWeb and SpaceX to both exist. You know, it's probably enough. So, as far as SpaceX is concerned, you know, it's not, OneWeb isn't going to eat their business too much, right? And they make so much money off of that. It's so funny, dude. You can't make that up. You cannot make that up. I mean, Boeing buys parts from Airbus, so yeah. I mean, Dish. It's further evidence that the tribalism that exists in space Twitter and, you know, with spaceflight fans is bullcrap. It means nothing. Everyone in the industry understands how difficult this crap is, so nobody's at each other's throats because, you know why? That's what children do, bro. Right? Am I right or am I right? Yeah, there you go. Your shirt has a triangle-shaped hole that goes through your body. Thank you. I just think that's really freaking funny, dude. You couldn't make that up. Anyway, here. So the Axiom Mission, I think it's important to know that the Axiom Mission, the first. So actually, all right. Well, let me tell people about the Axiom Mission before we get in there. This week, it got postponed till next week, kind of. No, EJ, tribalism is what the president of Roscosmos does. What? Okay. That's not what I was... You're not wrong, but I'm like saying, hey, 2 + 2 = 4, and you go, no, 2 - 2 = 0. It's like, yeah, yes. Okay. That's subtraction, not addition, but all right, yeah, I'll go with it. No. Guys. I know space news is all fine and dandy, but have you heard of the word? I thought you would have heard by now. Everybody said that the drone is the word. Drone. Drone. Birds don't exist because the drones don't. Yeah, drones exist because the birds don't exist. Drone. Drones everywhere. Drones Drone. No? Alright, cool. Don't you know birds don't exist, and everybody thinks that birds exist, and they don't because they're all drones. Alright, anyway. So, sorry. We have the Axiom 1 mission is coming up. The Axiom 1 mission is the first fully commercial mission to the ISS. It'll have ex astronauts and commercial astronauts on board, which is really freaking cool. That got moved out to the 6th. It was supposed to be the 3rd, but it got moved out a little ways. If birds are drones, what does Chick-fil-A sell? Chickens aren't birds. Chickens are, birds. Hey, what are we serving tonight? Chicken or chicken? Anyway, chickens are dinosaurs. Lizards with flaps. Chickens are rats with wings. I didn't realize that people had such strong opinions of goddamn chickens in chat. Alright. They're birds-ish, dinosaurs. I hate chicken! No, chicken is... Oh, I'm laughing because of the pain, because my stomach really hurts. But it's fine. It's cool. It's good. It's good. Good technicians can follow a drawing to spec. Chickens are tasty. Yeah. I just want to say for the record, I had a load of chicken wings last night. They're like, they're like little, they're like static birds, only better. Anyway. So the Axiom mission got moved out to the 6th. That is that's the first all commercial space flight. It's another crew launch here for SpaceX, heading up to the space station on the 6th. Which brings me to the next thing. Believe it or not, in a press conference for the Axiom 1 mission that we listened to on stream the other day, SpaceX basically. Actually, I don't think it was in the presser. Hold on, let me read. It may have been in a presser. I forget. Either way, SpaceX said that they're gonna stop making Crew Dragons. Mess with the cluck, you get to wait. What are my values? Yeah, SpaceX is going to. Fleet operations have already started for Axiom 1. MV Shannon, formerly Navigator, has left port to head to Tampa to stage. Right on. Yeah. Yeah, Gwen Shotwell told Lauren Grush over at The Verge that that SpaceX is done making Dragon. They stopped Crew Dragon production after 4 capsules. Well, that was quick, wasn't it? What's the replacement? Starship. Straight up. Guys, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I want to see if I could clickbait you. No, they stopped production of Dragons because Dragons are reusable. They have enough with the 4 capsules that they have. So, what is it? Endeavor, Endurance, Freedom, and what's the last one? Forget the last one. Between their 4 Crew Dragon capsules, Crew Dragon is... Each one of those things can fly 5 or 6 times, right? And well, actually, it's baselined at 5. It could theoretically fly more with more refurbishment, right? So, inspiration, there you go. Yep. So, if you think about it, you have 4 capsules, right? You have 4 capsules. Each one of them can fly at least 5 times. That's 20 missions. SpaceX doesn't have 20 more missions to the space station. Yeah, it's resilience, Endeavor, Freedom, and Endeavor. I always forget the fourth one. Resilience, Endeavor, Freedom, Endurance. There you go. Those are them. Yeah. Sorry, I was forgetting off the top of my head. But if you think about it, each one of those is baselined at 5 and could theoretically fly more, right? So even if they could get it out to like 10 flights per Dragon, that's 40 flights. There's no way Starship is not flying after 40 Dragon flights. Well, knock on wood, right? So, yeah. Crazy, right? They have 4 crew capsules and 3 uncrewed. Yeah, exactly. They have 3 uncrewed. The CRS 21, 22, and 23 capsules. I don't think they have names. Is this counting cargo dragons? No. Not counting cargo dragons. Pretty crazy, right? They've stopped production of crew dragons. Isn't that something? Holy... Yeah. The procedural radiators, yeah. I don't know if I showed this on stream the other day, Dish, but yeah, there's procedural radiators coming to KSP2, which is pretty neat. How many CSTs are planned? There is 2 right now. I think there should be more. C208, C209, yeah, and C211. Thank you. There you go. Could the crew dragons be repurposed to cargo dragons and vice versa if needed? They could be, Swishio, but it's unlikely. But yes, they could. They have common parts. SpaceX did that. They made crew and cargo dragons have a lot of commonality so you could swap parts back and forth. It's pretty smart. You're neglecting to mention the other two crew dragon capsules. The other 2 crew you're neglecting. What are you talking about? You're like 0 for 3 today, username. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? Are there other capsules? The Demo 1 capsule blew up, remember. But we're talking about operational capsules. I know that there were other capsules. We're talking about the ones that fly into space that didn't blow up on test stands. I don't understand. Am I missing something? I'm confused, dude. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Absolutely. There was the Demo 1 capsule that flew up into space, and then they were testing the abort motors back on the thing, and it blew up. But I'm pretty sure SpaceX can't use that as a reusable Dragon right now. Yeah, that's right, Dish. Unless I'm missing something. Did I... Starship Troopers, would you like to know more, B-Money? Anyway, so that's pretty cool that they stopped making dragons. I mean, that's pretty weird. That will basically mark the first time since what, 2008, 2009 that SpaceX hasn't had a Dragon in production. That's pretty crazy, dude. So they, yeah, they're shifting. SpaceX is all in on Starship, man, which is pretty freaking cool. Broomstick 1 is my vote. They'll name one that. SpaceX will do the right thing for OneWeb, even though they are a competitor. That's coming right from Elon. That's a reply to the tweet that we just mentioned a second ago. That's weird. The hell? That's oddly specific timing, man. Why does this keep happening? Wait a minute. What's going on? That's weirdly specific. But okay, it's all good. Okay, so here we go. What is this? Okay, fair point. It's very weird. Okay, I got some SLS news. I got some SLS stuff to show you guys. Some good, some bad. And then we'll do the Starship on the tail end, okay? I'm trying to condense space news a little bit. Confirm he's watching. I mean, I don't know. Tweet about SpaceX then. Like, okay, all right. I got something. That's nondescript enough. Tweet about if he tweets, if Elon tweets in the next hour, all right, if he tweets in the next hour something about SpaceX stopping production of Crew Dragons, then we'll know it's legit, okay? Keep an eye out. This is from Sunday, but dang, they're going fast. What is this? SpaceX is rapidly progressing with the work at Cape Canaveral. Holy crap, they've already, the rebar is up for the orbital launch tower. That's crazy. If he tweets about chicken, then I'll be impressed. All right. So, yeah, there you go. Tweet about SpaceX no longer making Crew Dragons. We'll see. Do it, man. If you're actually watching, do it. Johnny Red, neat, okay? Do it. Here. Look at this. You guys will enjoy this. Okay. Can we hold on. Let me see, Novus. Oh, those pictures are so good. That's my favorite picture, dude. We were looking at that picture the other day. These pictures are awesome. The shots up, dude, it fits. It's great. You see this? This is great. I have it muted, but yeah. This is great. It fits so well, dude. Roll shot, though. Up through the grass. That's awesome, dude. Why does that work so well? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's cool. That just made me really happy. These shots, though, are pretty awesome. Oh, she's a beast, dude. Look at that. Look at the lighting. Perfect rule of thirds here. Again, perfect rule of thirds. Oh, these shots are great. Look at that. Perfect framing. Good rule of thirds. Great lighting. What was that song? That's the Vice City theme song, dude. Rule of thirds, Mab. Rule of thirds is something from cinematography. I'll take a shot here and I'll show you. It's something I learned at film school. You went to film school. Does your daddy know you bring a streamer his coffee? It would kill him, wouldn't it? Yeah, I like the warm look of the 2x face. So, like, take a look at this shot, all right?
Discovery, go at throttle up.
See, take a look at this shot. So, you have some rule of thirds stuff going on here, okay? So, in the left third, all right, you have a lot of negative space in the picture. A lot of negative space, but you got the lighting source over there with the water tower, which is cool. In the dead center of the shot, the rocket isn't dead center. The rocket's over here. See? In the dead center of the shot, you got the 2 lightning towers, and the 2 lightning towers, the light's being cast on the back of the lightning tower, so it's eclipsing the lightning tower, so you get a really nice shadow. That's in the center of the shot. Lot of positive space. And then in the right third, you have the rocket that's totally eclipsed with the dark in the background. You get a really good contrast between the right third, the middle third, and the left third there. And then the shot is framed correctly because over in the far right third here, you have the rocket, but you also have a lot of negative space, but it's contrasted by these plants in the foreground. It's a really, really nicely framed shot. It's great. It's a pretty picture, isn't it? Doesn't it look nice? Can that water tower fly, though? No. That's cool, Hasty. Neat. See that? That's really, really, really good shot framing. Now that I've explained rule of thirds to you, you won't be able to unsee it. It's one of those things. Now watch. Next shot. These guys, whoever's taking, see, there you go again. Whoever taking these pictures at NASA really knows it's really good photographer. Check it out. So this, you have the light dead center, right? And then in the left third, you have a lot of negative space, but you got nice contrast there. In the middle third, you have the sun, right? And then on the right third, you have a lot of negative space in the foreground, though. That's negative space in the background, negative space in the foreground. The rocket's in the center third. Isn't that cool? The funny thing is that this is the same shot with a different focal length, but whatever. So this one has the rocket frame dead center. Water tower left, lightning rod right, but the rocket's framed in the center because the lighting, look at the lighting on this shot. Really, really nice shot. You have really, really warm colors over here and really cold colors over here. So you have warmth on the left in the left third, and you have really cold over here because it's night, darkness in the right, and then you have the eclipsed rocket in the center. Really, really nice photography there. That's really good. There's really great framing, if I do say so myself. Again, thirds again, right there. This is a very similar to the shot that we just looked at a second ago, but it didn't. This is without the foreground. Another rule of thirds shot. You see how it's very like the only time the rocket is in the center is if something like nuts is going on in the background. This is another great picture though. It's called rule of thirds. Rule of thirds is everywhere. It's everywhere in all types of cinematography. Oh yeah. Cinematography, photographs, and so that's a pan shot right there. Pan is when the camera, basically the camera equivalent of yaw. You have pan, you have roll, and then you have tilt, and then you have running through the bushes. You and your obsession with thirds, yeah. Yeah, I can't tell. Well, don't worry. I've been following that one to a T. Ooh. Yeah, the dolly shot is... Thank you, Electra. Yeah, I always forget it. That's nice. See, rule of thirds again, Mab. Right there. Nah, Iger, the grass in Florida is crunchy. Yeah, true story. The grass in Florida is very crunchy. Yeah, that's just Florida grass. It's crunchy, I'm telling you. That's just grass. It's crunchy. I don't know. Hollywood uses rule of thirds for movies nowadays. 1/3 marketing, 1/3 actor, and 1/3 special effects, and salary 0 for script writing. Oh, stop! You're already dead. Man, that joke really slaps hard, you could say, Far. I'm upset that I made that reference. Crawler transporter. How topical. Oh. Hey, look. Look. Some real thirds going on here again. Crawler Transport Center in the foreground. Negative space on the left. Huge freaking rocket on the right. Oh, yeah, Tessa, don't do that. Oops. Freaking savage. Try to keep it clean for me, boys, okay? At least during the day. Oh, that's nice. That makes me feel... This picture makes me feel things. Look, more rule of thirds, but also this shot is freaking cherry, man. I like this. This is nice, but I like this. Did you talk about the NASA budget stuff yesterday or today? Is it in the VOD? I talked about it yesterday. A little bit of stream yesterday, Corsi, and then we talked about it on Friday after the Artemis, or Thursday after the Artemis thing. Is there anything specific you want to know? Guys, the budget request, and keep in mind, it's just a request. It isn't gospel. It's not very good. Yeah, I said it. It's pretty bad, actually. It barely accounts for inflation. And in some areas, stuff is defunded despite a $2 billion increase. That's what happens when you get 7% inflation, dudes. Oh, I don't know, Hellfish. It'd be a lot. So... It's not what they're going to get. I mean, I'll keep my hopes high for sure. You know, like, I'll hope that, you know, Congress will say, no, you can't do that. But honestly, you don't really go into negotiations lowballing what you want to get done with NASA, which is, yeah. I hope they get more, and I'll keep my hopes high. But yeah, it's barely enough to compensate for inflation, which is really not good.
Did you eat all the EO fudgies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was trying to settle my stomach, baby.
That's okay.
Have you seen this Artemis infographic? I haven't seen it, but I'll show it. The best thing yesterday was your sneak peek about Project Ares. Yeah? Oh my goodness. Oh, that's such a good picture. Oh, that's so freaking cool. I still think the tower needs to be Apollo red. Now, Jim, I don't disagree with you, but I honestly think a red launch umbilical tower would look very weird with the orange rocket. That would look very strange. It would look like a popsicle. Yeah, Swish SLS is big, very big. The entirety of Complex 39, man. I'll tell you, you know, it was really special. It's really special to see a rocket come out of there. It's not every day that happens. It's a special day, man, and we'll get to see it again soon. You know, all I know that the vid posted will anger EJ because it's not in 4K and it was the same camera angles that NASA. Because it's in 4K and it's the same camera angles that NASA broadcast in 720p. What year is it? Cool shot with the birds. Agreed. I mean drones. Yeah, yeah. Man, is that freaking cool or what? That's so legit, dude. Dude, I could look at this footage all day. There's not really any sound to it. Oh, God, man. Give it a rest. Jeez. I don't know. I'm thinking, like, trying to think what would be good music for this, but, Benny Hill? No. When do we get to see a little bit more of Orion? There aren't many pictures out there. There's pictures everywhere on the NASA archive. What are you talking about? You can tell what thermal protection system is new. Launch vehicle staging adapter. I'm looking at you. Yeah. Did you notice the foam is darker now after being out on the pad for 2 weeks? Yep, of course. Yeah, it stains. It gets sun bleached. Stains. Gets sun bleached. Man, this footage, though. Okay, once again, you're looking for scale here. How big is this? How big is it? Well, you're not really gonna realize how big the VAB is until you go. But if you want some scale, look right there. See the door? There's your scale. See, you want to know how big that is? Yeah. That is a people-sized doorway right there. See that little thing? Little thing? It's about halfway up, fellas. It's about halfway up the VAB. That's 250 feet in the air. 25 stories up. Up here, 500 feet. 150 meters. Or about a 50-story building. This thing is gigantic, man. It's freaking huge. Photography gantry is up there. See the doorway down there? You know how big this thing is, man. It's freaking huge. And you can make it bigger and wider. Yep. Well, the thermal protection system at the forward skirt in the LVSA is, but there's also the new thermal protection system at the LH2 tank and inner tank. Oh, yeah. That flag is the size of a soccer pitch. Dietor, you're right, but say American football field because it's the American flag. You don't say the American flag is the size of a soccer field. That's just, I'm sorry, it's just not. That's just not us. It's very frowned upon. It's very frowned upon. Say hand egg field at the very least. Thank you. That was a joke. I really don't care. Whatever size approximation works. Also, this picture is very nice. This is making me very happy. About 3/4 the size of a cricket pitch. Wow. There you go. But hand egg could also refer to rugby, could it not? Okay. I'm just gonna, I'll just be over here. You guys, I'll just be over here. The mother of all garages. Yep. It is the Garage Mahal. You ever stared at it? Marveled at its beauty? Its genius? Did you know, Mr. Anderson, that the first SLS rocket was designed to be a perfect launch vehicle? Without pain and suffering, it was a disaster. The rocket didn't have enough Delta V. Entire missions were lost. Which brings you to the Block 1B version that you will see before you. Sorry. Seriously though, that looks amazing. These are lightning rods, guys. Yeah, lightning in Florida is, bad. Actually, you want to know what's crazy? You crank up, you could tell that they have the focal length on this shot cranked up hard because you could see Titusville Causeway out there, and then you could literally see Titusville in the background. Guys, those buildings are not close. Those buildings are like 13, 14 miles away. So what is that, like 20 kilometers? Those are far away. I wonder if they have the focal length jacked enough so you can see Orlando. Orlando should be coming into shot. Nah, it's too hazy. You can see the power plant, though. Pretty sure that's the power plant out there. That's a long way away, dude. That's a very long way away. And then if you go south, you should be able to see all the integration buildings here. Yeah, Orlando's out there. It's too hazy. There's the VAB, Launch Control Center, old orbiter processing facilities, and then can we see all the way to Port Canaveral? Yeah, it's a little hazy. It's down there though, but yeah, not really. There's KSCVC right there. That's Blue Origin's buildings. There's the TCAT, tank cleaning and testing facility, and the shotcut. Saturn V Center over there. Yeah, Geek. I mean, on clear days from up in the air, you can see Orlando. That's no problem. Yeah. You know how I know? Because I watch shuttle launches from my porch in Orlando. So I know you could see the VAB on a clear day if you're up high enough. Yeah, I had the shuttle on, me and my buddy, me and Big D, one of my moderators, we had the shuttle on the television on a flat screen, Gen 1 flat screen, so like the flat screen tube TV. Yeah, great TV. And, we saw it go, and then we looked left, and then the sky lit up, and you saw it go. It was really cool. SDS-116. Yeah, there's Playa Linda Beach over there. Yeah, because that was 2006. But yeah, man, look at that thing. Look at that monster. Beast. Something like that, Hillness. I think that TV is still at my parents' house, if I'm remembering right. Was it a Trinitron? Yeah, I think so. The gray ones, yeah. Love me some big old rockets. Yep. Yeah, I mean, once again, look at the cars. You see, you kind of, your brain kind of extrapolates scale, and then you see something like the cars and stuff and people walking around. You're just like, wow. See the cars parked in front of it? Actually, the truck's right there. Yeah. That's not small. So, whenever these pictures were taken, something to note, the deflectors aren't in position. See the flame deflectors right here? They're not in position. These things are on railroad tracks and they roll that way. They're rolled out of the way so the crawler transporter can come in. These flame deflectors are designed to deflect the SRB exhaust into the flame trench because the SLS core, or a space shuttle core, right? The space shuttle had these deflectors too, with the two SRBs on the side, is wider than the Saturn V. So they needed to put these big deflectors on the sides to make sure that the SRB exhaust goes into the flame trench and doesn't cook the crawler way. So I would assume that these things would probably be in position for the wet dress rehearsal. I would assume that those probably would be in the right spot right there. So yeah, they're not. Whenever this was taken, they weren't moved into position just yet. What is an alligator went up in bit SLS? What if an alligator went up in bit SLS? They got people out on the pads, Ryan, with shotguns to make sure that the gators and birds don't come near the rocket. No, they don't shoot them. They shoot up in the air and it gets them to go away. They shoot blanks up in the air. Yeah, Swishio, it's pretty damn flat. Most of Florida is pretty flat, yeah. Like I said, those buildings are not close. That's Titusville, man. That's a long way away. I'll show you. Those are the that's downtown Titusville that we were seeing in the background. Yeah, it's a pretty cool job, Hellfish. So the helicopter is going around 39B right here, right? And you see Titusville in the background. See? 20 kilometers away. It's a long way, dude. Let's see. 12 miles. That's a long way away. But like I said, on a clear night in Orlando, you could see the rocket launches. Heck, you can see them from Sebring down here. I mean, even into Tampa, if if it's clear enough, you can see the rocket go. I mean, here, I'll show you. You want to see how flat Florida actually is? Let me follow 528 out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. 528 is the road that you use to get to the Cape. Here. Ready?
Discovery.
Hey, Kelly. Barrack Bronson Based Administration. Yep. I can see them from Orlando all the time. Yep. I mean, this is, you know, having been down 528 many times. This is about how flat it is, dude. What is this trickery? Dude, Florida's it's flat. What can I tell you? Yep. Dude, you could see for miles in every direction. Yeah, Devin, yeah. If you're in Daytona Beach, you're only 20 miles north. It's nothing. You can see those things go out all the time. Yep. And planes have landed on 528 before. Why did I never know about this? This is great. Yeah, there's a flight simulator built into Google Earth. Control Alt A. But yeah, see? She flat. Very flat. This road is as flat and as straight as it can get. You know? It just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going. Toll booth. And going and going and going and going and going. Toll booth.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Nothing outlasts the Energizer Bunny. Yeah, driving on Florida roads on the interstates, man, it gets boring real fast. I hope you have somebody to talk to. Oh my gosh, even the trees are flat. Dude, the vast majority of the U.S. is like this. The entire middle of the country, dude, is this flat. You know, if you want to see, go look at the Route 154, the segment of Route 154 when we were in Texas. It's flat. There's nothing. There's nothing out there but wind turbines. It's really cool, actually. I thought it was really neat. So, anyway. Can planes use highways as emergency runways? Yeah, of course. Or a great playlist. Yeah, yeah. I can't handle the flat. Yeah. Yeah, see. It's just flat for as far as the eye can see. Also, this is really nice footage. Has Florida joined Easy Pass yet? I think so. Yeah, Jim, they're there. I mean, like I said, you could see the VAB from a good deal away. I don't think you could see the VAB if you were on the ground in Orlando, but if you were in a tall building on a clear night, oh yeah, you can see it. Oh yeah, they have it lit up. It's really easy to see. It's cool, man. Also, Orange Rocket, which is Sun Pass and Easy Pass, yep. Oh, man. Once again, you see the trucks driving around. That truck right there, that's a dually. It's the same kind of those, you guys, you know, when we watch Starship footage, you see those big freaking trucks driving around, right? The big heavy-duty trucks that are pulling like Raptor engines and stuff, that's one of them. That little speck right there is one of those. That's a 3500 HD from what I can tell. Either that or it's an F350. It could be either one. But look at it. It's a little nothing. It's a little pea shooter compared to this thing. It's really cool, man. Yeah, freaking people. Look at people standing there. Unbelievable. When's the planned launch of SLS? Well, actually, it's a good time to pivot. It could be May or it could be June. The next thing we got to do is the wet dress. I don't work for NASA. The next thing that they got to do is the wet dress rehearsal. The wet dress rehearsal should be happening on the 3rd, but NASA did have a press conference today regarding that. And yeah, here, Joey Roulette reported on it here. Take a look. It should be announced on April 11th per the teleconference. Thanks, Thomas. Yeah, see. NASA's Tom Whitmire said, here's one of the big things to take away. They'll have an answer basically at the end of the wet dress rehearsal. The wet dress rehearsal is basically so they rolled the rocket out to the pad, and now they're practicing launch operations. And the wet dress rehearsal is basically everything. You go through an entire simulated launch, basically up to everything but lighting the engines to launch the vehicle. They'll get to about T-minus 10 seconds in the count, and then they will scrub the launch on purpose. They're not launching anything, right? They'll get to T-minus 10 seconds and they'll scrub. And then they'll go through the scrubbing procedures. Now, what does this do? Well, it's a dress rehearsal, right? So it's a dress rehearsal for the launch. So it practices, you practice and validate that all your launch operations are working correctly. And then you also validate that all your scrubbing operations are working correctly. NASA doesn't want to put the rocket on the pad and have it scrub and then not know how to do it. This is to make sure that all those, the launch procedures and the scrubbing procedures are validated for the rocket. And they're going to do the test on the 3rd. And then they have to review all the data. And in that time, SLS should roll back into the VAB. And then NASA's going to check the vehicle to make sure that the vehicle is in the exact same configuration despite tanking and detanking. So going through a simulated launch and a scrub. They're going to make sure it's in the same exact configuration that it was when it left the VAB before the wet dress rehearsal. If everything is nice and uniform and it works exactly how they think it's going to work, we'll have a launch date sooner rather than later. SLS is probably going to end up, it's targeting like the last couple of weeks of May or the last couple of weeks of June. It really depends on how well the wet dress goes. Are the 5-segment boosters taller than a space shuttle stack? Almost, Ryan. Yeah, pretty close. So here's one of the things to take away from the thing here. Now, Joey Roulette says that NASA's Tom Whitmire says the press won't have access to countdown loops for the SLS's wet dress rehearsal next week, breaking from tradition, because of ITAR concerns and fears that adversaries will glean cryogenic timing information for clues into ballistic missile systems. Interesting. Sounds like some lawyer said no. No, Snow, it's even worse. Some government official said no. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, pretty sure the adversaries would know already. I'm beyond pissed about this. Accepts timeout. This is stupid, yeah. I don't know, man. I have questions. And my questions are this. Cryogenic timing? Cryogenic timing. What do you mean? Who uses a cryogenic ballistic missile? Who uses a fully cryogenic ballistic missile? Does that mean that somebody has a Hydrolox ballistic missile out there? Why would you do that? That's really stupid. Because the timing is going to be different. You'd think that the timing would be different depending on if it's Keralox or Hydrolox, right? So, who has a Hydrolox ballistic missile? Hydrogen and oxygen. Those don't make good missile propellants. That genuine question. Who's using a cryogenic ballistic missile? Does anyone do that? Also, private companies are broadcasting their countdown loop, which includes fueling timings. Well, I mean, Thomas, this is shared from the space shuttle, which flew very publicly for like 30 years. Yeah, I don't understand this move. Because if somebody out there is using a cryogenic ICBM, first of all, cryogenic ICBMs aren't really a good idea because you have to go through that whole fueling timing thing. And if somebody will pretty much see that you're fueling it, right? And it takes a little while to fuel it. You know, takes like an hour at the very quickest. SpaceX does it in less than 45 minutes. But that's still 45 minutes of your enemies peeping. Oh, you're fueling up your ICBM. What are you doing? You know, an ICBM can get from the other side of the world to wherever you're fueling your missile in 15 minutes. So cryogenic propellants don't really make a whole lot of sense for ICBMs. So I'm honestly interested here. Who the hell is using a cryogenic ICBM? Are we? Why would you say that? Could you do a cryo rocket in a silo? Yeah, but they stopped doing that, Goalie, a long time ago because cryogenic rockets take a long time to fuel. No one's used a cryogenic ICBM since 1961. Unless there's something that we don't know about here. Do you really want to ask ITAR questions in front of 540 people? Well, Swishio, the point that I'm trying to get at is that I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, there's nobody that uses a cryogenic ICBM. So you like, even this is a weird statement in itself. We use solids for a reason. Yeah, and so do the Russians, and so do the Chinese, and so do the nuclear-armed countries in Europe, and so does Pakistan, and so does India. Who's using a cryogenic ICBM, Staples? I feel like it's we don't want any criticism about any issues during the wet dress. Yeah, that's a really stupid. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, dude, not even I don't even think North Korea's is cryogenic. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that thing. Did you guys see that? Did you see that freaking video? Did you see? Hold on. Did you see the North Korean ICBM video? I forgot about that. Did you? I don't know whether to be like, damn, or like should I be upset about this? Like, dude, the golden watch, the freaking golden watch. What the frick are you doing? Oh my god, dude, you can't make this up. North Korea showed off their new ICBM, right? They showed off their new ICBM, and it starts with a camera like on a hangar door, and the hangar door's open, and it's Kim Jong-un with two generals, and he's like wearing a leather bomber jacket with like sunglasses on, and they're walking out going, and it's playing like this epic music, and he's like, oh, you helped this project. Hey, you over there, yeah, you helped make this. That's cool. And then he goes, it's time. It's time. And then it shows the rocket. It's so ridiculous, dude. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. Dude, hold on. It's kind of BA right here. Like, dude, I can't even make this up. This is, dude, I'm telling you, it's the strangest thing. Here, look, you think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? Look. What the hell? You got it? Dude, what in the hell is happening right now? I'm not kidding. What is... I am so confused. I'm so confused. It's gotta be a hypergall. Yeah. I don't understand. Here, let me see footage of the thing launching, dude. Here, let's take a look. Let me see. Let's take a look. I can't tell. I can't tell. Someone maybe. You know, it's orangish, kind of like Hydrolox, and you'd be stupid to use a carrot. Like, that's what I mean. You'd be stupid to use use cryogenics here. No ice, and it's on the truck, so it's got to be hypers. If it's not solid, it's got to be hypergulls. You're right. Like, so once again, which brings, like, this is what I mean. Who is using a cryogenic ICBM? Cryogenic ballistic missile? And does that even exist anymore? It's very interesting. The transport is cool. I like the truck. I'm not gonna lie. I like the truck. I don't need the rocket part. That's one rocket I can do without. It's about preventing the knowledge from being disseminated so others can't glean information about the system as a whole. EAR and ITAR extend beyond solid fuel ICBMs. Technical information about cryogenic fluids management is definitely ITAR. They're doing it out of caution to make sure that information isn't in the loops. Yeah, Novus, I understand that, and that would make sense. So why did they stream the Green Run countdown loop? The honest, like, okay, legit question. Like that's I'm not trying to play like I got you. Like why would you? Because everything in those loops was an ITAR. So why don't we just get that countdown loop during launch? No, I don't call the shots. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's very strange. Sounds like it was NASA's Laura's making the decision on the... I don't know, man. I don't know.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I mean, I know that this stuff's obviously more complicated, but yeah. It seems like that's very strange. But I guess someone can learn something from it somewhere. Geeson, tier 2, 54-month resub. I personally don't like trees. I think they're shady, yeah. Maybe they're trying to allow for ITAR stuff to be discussed on loops that would normally be public. Maybe they're trying to allow for ITAR to be discussed on loops that would normally be public should they need to. I don't know. I don't know, someone. It's very strange. I mean, especially since we had 30 years of the shuttle. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I understand. Like, I guess it's due to Bill being worried about China. I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah, Hellfish, yep. They said they're going to get the loops between the wet dress rehearsal and launch. They're wanting them open for launch. Oh, that's neat. Oh, cool. Either way, I really wanted to cover it, but, I mean, I suppose if we get a live stream of the rocket, then it's not the worst. But, yeah, I really wanted to cover, like, them going over, like, through the CAPUs and stuff, which I thought, and the MPS CAPUs, which I thought that would be really cool to show chat, but... yeah, I got you. I guess. I mean, I'm not too keen on it. I'm not going to lie to you. But, hey. Here. So, I got something here, fellas. This is the wet dress rehearsal for the Artemis 1 launch. The Orion spacecraft Twitter account actually released... there's a thread of stuff here. And what I thought was really cool... I mean, the pictures are obviously, like... right? I want to see this shot during launch. That would be amazing.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, man. I'm not going to bark too much about up NASA's tree about it. They're trying to remember how to do this again. Give it some time, but also it's a little frustrating, man. They make it... I would be remiss in saying that, you know, dude, they make it really, really, really difficult to be, like, media covering this kind of stuff. It's just very difficult at times, you know? Played Star Citizen, realized in 20 hours, where did the time go? I told you that would happen, man. Why did you do that? I mean, did you hear they released the GeForce RTX 3090 earlier for 2200? No, 20... Yep, and they're all gone. Yep. Yeah, graphics cards. Especially after what Tim said. Yeah, Phil. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, it's tough. It makes it tough at times, dude. Especially, and you know, like Novus, I'm not gonna lie to you. It makes it really difficult, especially, you know, with the transparency that SpaceX, you know, has. Like, and I'm not trying to make it. Oh, but SpaceX has the transparency, so shouldn't NASA? I know it's not that simple. What I'm telling you is that sometimes it's a little more difficult. You know. Am I moonlighting as Master Chief? Everybody says I look like that guy. You know what? I'll take it. That's fine. I'll take it. That's fine. I'll take Master Chief. Master Chief's one of my heroes. You're not the first person to say that, Dish, which is kind of weird, but hey, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, Devlin. Yeah, that's the other thing with NASA stuff, dude. They got to stop trying to explain everything like they're explaining it to a 5-year-old. Understand your demographics and understand that I think teaching at a high school level is where you should be doing this, not a preschool level. Did you watch it? No, Dish, I haven't watched it. I look like Kristen Slater. I'll take that. Oh, man. I don't know, Dish. What do you think? It's not terrible? All right. The way you get people interested is by telling them details about space. Devlin, yeah, I agree. You want to know what you want to know way you get people interested the most? Launching things. I don't know what you're talking about, Golden Goose. I've never heard of that before in my life. What is a synth? NASA's demographic is where the average U.S. education ends. Disagree. So high school level, yeah, talking to them like your father-rules make a lot of sense. Yeah, okay. Hey, where's Europe's heavy lift launch vehicle? Huh. Oh, that's right. No, yeah, that must be a high school launch vehicle there, huh? Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, that's fair point, I guess. Well, you had that one coming. Don't try to cap me with low-hanging fruit like that. Oh, Americans are stupid. Am I right? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. Hey, can you guys make me a service module that gets us to low lunar... Oh, wait. Nope, you didn't do that either. Emotional damage. Arian 5? Yeah. Okay. Tessa. It's cheaper that way. Oh, gosh. You got what you asked for free, so shh. Here, check this out. On top of the cherry freaking views, there's these really awesome infographics that show the different orbits that the Artemis missions are going to go in. This is the distant retrograde orbit. Check this out. So, Artemis 1's going to launch. So, once again, May or June. It could be the last bit of May. It could be the last bit of June. I'm not sure. But it'll put it into a retrograde orbit, right? And when Orion gets to the Apocynthian, no, it wouldn't be Apocynthian. It would be over here. When it gets to Paracynthian, it's going to circularize into a very, very high orbit around the moon, a distant retrograde orbit. And then And then when it's ready to come back home, it's going to burn. It's going to do a retrograde burn, right? Yeah, retrograde burn. Retrograde burn in a retrograde orbit around the moon, and it's going to lower its parasynthion down here to where that 13 is, and lowering it like that, and it's going to use the moon to shoot it back towards Earth. It's kind of like Apollo 8's free return trajectory, but a little bit different. You're circularizing in a high orbit. Well, it's not prograde. It's a retrograde. It would be a retrograde burn. Yeah, this works all backwards. They're using lunar perturbations to shoot the capsule, to help circularize the capsule and to shoot the capsule back home. It's actually really cool. These infographics are super, super, super handy. And the Orion Twitter account posted the one for Artemis 2 as well. Artemis 2 is a mission like Apollo 8. It's a free return trajectory. See? Free return, where you use retrograde lunar gravitational perturbations to shoot the capsule back towards Earth. It's moonshot, baby. It's like Apollo 8. And you can tell because the pudding is right here. The pudding is as easy as falling into a pool of pudding logs. What is that dotted line on the first infographic? That's the upper stage trajectory. It's lunar free real estate. Yeah, here, check it out. They also have the one for Artemis 3. You think Artemis 1 and Artemis 2 is cool. Check out 3. You want to see something crazy? Rectilinear halo orbit insertion. Look at that. That's pretty weird, huh? Is that crazy or what? No seismic testing. No, not this time around. But look, Artemis 3 also shows the potential lunar landing trajectory. Isn't that cool? And the takeoff trajectory too. Artemis 3 is what I end up doing whenever I start a new save. Cool. Yeah, see? They'll do a posigrade, almost posigrade insertion around the moon, but they'll make sure they go over the lunar North Pole with almost a posigrade insertion. But if they sped up a little bit, it would be a free return. If they slowed down a little bit, it would be a prograde insertion, right? Posigrade insertion. But they try to get it so the trajectory, so parasynthion is over the North Pole of the moon, and then they circularize out there, right? And they bring the lunar apocynthion, so the highest point in a lunar orbit. That's what apocynthion is. They bring it in so it circularizes around the moon, and then do a course correction into the rectilinear halo orbit. Now, what's a rectilinear halo orbit? What does that mean? NRHO orbit. So check this out. The type of orbit, that's the type of orbit that Gateway is going to be in. Now, I could sit here, I could show you, this is a great video, I could show you that, or I could show you that, and you'd get pretty damn confused. So, the graphic at the end of this is a good way to explain it. So, you have three shots here. This is an Earth-centered inertial frame. So this is basically staring at the Earth and the moon goes around, right? This is the Earth-Moon rotating frame. So the moon is in the foreground, Earth is in the background. So this camera in the top right moves with the moon, okay? It always keeps the Earth and the moon in a straight line. This is just looking at the moon, the one that's behind my head. Now, you want to see what a rectilinear halo orbit does? The giveaway is right here. Watch this. No, okay, I know what people are saying. What's so special about that? Who cares? All right, cool. It's in a eccentric polar orbit around the moon. Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that. What this rectilinear halo orbit does is use lunar precession, or non-uniform gravitational pull from the moon, to be able to stay in a type of orbit that's always within line of sight of Earth. That's a really important thing to understand. The Apollo missions went into more or less an equatorial lunar orbit. That equatorial lunar orbit means that they were on the backside of the moon and were in communications blackout for a bit of time. Not something that you ideally want with a space station. You don't want to be not in constant communication with a station that people are on, especially. So, Gateway, the lunar space station, is going to be put in this NRHO-styled orbit, and that always provides line of sight to Earth. It never goes behind the moon, because it's using non-uniform lunar gravitational pull to adjust its orbit every time it orbits to make sure it actually does angry triangle burn, more or less. It would be like every time you go over the North Pole in KSP, you tilt your orbit so your orbit stays with the way that the direction that the moon is going. It's really smart, really freaking cool. Yep, you won't get a loss of signal with the type of orbit that Gateway is in. It's actually super, super cool. And you can't do this in KSP without modifying your orbit, without having to burn at pericynthion every time. You have to do it's not radial. You have to do a coplanar normal burn. Yeah, it's not angry triangle. You'd have to do a coplanar normal burn every time you go over the North Pole. Now, in real life, they don't need to do that because the moon actually is the moon is spherical in shape, but it actually kind of wobbles a little bit because the center of mass of the moon is not directly in the center like the volumetric center of the moon. Yeah, so it actually the moon kind of does this a little bit because the moon is tidally locked, right? So one side of it is always pointed towards Earth. So it still does spin, right? It spins because it's looking at Earth, right? But because the center of gravity is not necessarily in the volumetric center of the moon, it kind of does this a little bit. It kind of wiggles around. And that wiggling can adjust spacecraft's orbits. Yeah. A lot of people don't know. There's a lot of KSP players out there that think you put something in low lunar orbit around MUN in KSP, it'll just stay there. Oh, there's no atmosphere. I don't have to worry about aero braking. That doesn't happen in real life. In real life, the moon wobbling around like that will deorbit your spacecraft. True story. I mean, the crazy thing is, Tess says that Earth is the same way. Earth's kind of weebly wobbling all the time. The center of the Earth is not the center of gravity, believe it or not. Yeah. Weird, huh? Those resulting gravitational perturbations in the applications of orbital mechanics is called precession. Precession does that little weeble wobbliness. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. That's really interesting. And, they're able to calculate how much each orbit will precess every time, and they came up with this rectilinear halo orbit. That's what that means. I know, I say rectilinear halo orbit, and people think, rectum. But yeah, no, that type of orbit is really cool. It stays within line of sight of Earth. It's an orbit around the moon that never goes behind the moon. It's really neat, actually. It's smart. Time's up. Has Elon tweeted anything about it? I don't know. Let me take a look. He's talking about sustainable energy generation from the sun and wind and how it's making great progress. Shame that. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, these are the type of orbits pretty much every subsequent Artemis mission is going to go in. The other thing that people don't realize is that with this type of orbit, because it is inherently a polar orbit around the moon, that enables you to land anywhere on the moon. You can land anywhere. You're in a polar orbit. It goes through all longitude and latitudes of the moon, as opposed to an equatorial orbit where you're stuck near the lunar basaltic lowlands, which are the dark gray spots on the moon. You're really kind of, in an equatorial orbit, you're kind of stuck in this area right here. The Gateway orbit basically enables us to land anywhere. You could land at an Apollo site, you could land at the North Pole, you could land at the South Pole, you could land where the Chinese rover landed on the far side of the moon if you really wanted to. It's basically this is pretty good. It's pretty damn good stepping stone to get to the moon. I think it's really neat. Hey, G-Funk, what's going on? And that gravitational field is lumpy. Planetarium software needs fresh data every 3 days or so to give good satellite predictions. Artemis 4 hardware in this thread. Yep. And then, yeah, see? Look. Oh, man. There it is. There's bits of... Oh, there's the European service module. That's the Artemis 4 service module, dudes. And then there's the... See? Oh, this is so good. No, it's these. This, dude. This is so money, man. I went to go see the Moon Penguins personally. Yeah. Yeah, this is so cool. These infographics are super helpful. It's super helpful for understanding it. And then you run out of... You guys see Mark? See Mark? Don't be like Mark. Okay? Don't be like Mark. See Mark there? Don't be like him. Okay? Don't be like Mark. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's why we don't have moon satellites barely clearing the mountaintops. They would crash very quickly. Yep. Lavy drop in my head. Yeah. yeah, Lavy's getting in there. She hangry. She hangry to pounce on the haters, man. Also, dude, Artemis 3 Orion, there it is. It's right there. There's its service module. It's starting to stack up, man. I just wish we could do it a little quicker, but there's other things at work there. There's, dude, the Artemis 2 Orion. It's right there. Look, that's going to be done soon. Man, this whole thread is freaking money, dude. He legit posted that with that flag in the bio. Yeah. Hey, Orion. Yeah. This will be soon. What's that? Yeah, here. Oh my goodness. Mind-blowing time-lapse of Earth rising over the moon captured by the Japanese lunar orbiter Kaguya. What the frick? Soon. I just... I just thought of this for... I don't know, Ninth. We're almost there, Electron. almost there. Oh, it's so good. Soon, guys. Soon. Guys, you understand we're going to see this picture in a couple of months, right? We're going to see it live streamed in a couple of months. Do you know if Starship will have terrain mapping software to automatically detect a flat piece of land, flat place to land, like what was used on Perseverance? Terrain relative navigation arc sign. I don't know. Maybe. Good. Yeah, weather guy, I'm with you. Dude, the from the Earth to the Moon theme really hits home, man. Amazing to think that since the Apollo missions, it will be roughly 2 to 3 whole generations for us to watch a moon landing for the first time. Unacceptable. But better than nothing. I like that it is entirely possible that within the next decade we could have humans on multiple celestial bodies other than Earth at the same time. Yep. It's NASA. They not live streaming this. We couldn't even stream rollout that was a few feet from the building. Okay. Hi, so you have a link from the video. I am late, sorry. Here, it's just a tweet, guys. What is the Artemis 1 mission going to do? Here, I'll show you. It's a test flight for Orion. Here, I have a map of the trajectory. I'll link this up. Anyway, yeah, I think, can I, all right, guys, we can, I'll do a longer space news tomorrow or something, and we'll cover like Starship stuff. We'll do a big one. So Roger's waiting for me. I just wanted to end space news with that today. Soon. Is there any chance that NASA spaceflight will stream the wet dress rehearsal? NASA will have a stream, but it'll just literally be a picture of the rocket from what I understand. I don't know. Well, I'll go and listen to the presser and I'll see if there's anything else. You know, hopefully they do a stream. It would really be nice. But you know, ITAR and whatnot, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to say that I like that. I'll be honest with you. You know, like, I mean, like, if anybody's gonna copy someone's design, they're going to copy SpaceX's, and they're pretty dang straightforward about their fueling procedures. Just saying. But what do I know? I'm not NASA. We don't know better, I guess. My father always tell me how great and inspiring the moon landings were. I can't wait to experience it yourself. Yep. Yeah, Hellfish, I mean, honestly, man, I'm not too happy about it. Like, it's, you know, but, you know, like, once again, you know, it's just a wet dress rehearsal. If they, NASA said, from what I understand, they'll do a lot with the launch. Like the launch will be pretty all out in the open. So if that's the case, then I guess I can't complain. Oh, and also, we'll cap off space news with this. Ready?
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Bird.
What do we have here? God, here I thought we were special.
Fellas, this here's Bagman.
Hangman.
Whatever.
What the hell kind of mission is this?
That's the mock loop. That's the mock loop. Yeah!
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they gonna get to teach us?
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell. Let me be perfectly blunt. You are not my first choice. You are here at the request of Admiral Kazansky, a.k.a. Iceman. He seems to think that you have something left to offer the Navy. What that is, I can't imagine.
With all due respect, sir, I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
What the hell? Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
That's awesome. And we're off. This is freaking great, dude.
2, 1.
Better fly.
We're going into combat on a level no living pilot's ever seen. Not even him.
You think up there you're dead. Believe me.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
Someone's not coming back from this.
Those are your pilots. Anything happens to them.
Smoke in the air!
You will never forgive yourself.
No turning back now.
Come on! Jeez! Having any fun yet?
Yep. I'll be watching that. Yep, that's gonna get seen. Yep. Yeah, I know, Thomas. I know. I thought I saw a Pack 50 in there. That's pretty cool. Yeah. SU-57. Yeah. Yeah, that's You know the shots of Tom Cruise flying around in the jet are probably real, right? Like those are probably real. In fact, I'm willing to guess that they're not only are they probably real, it's probably him flying too. Yeah, an SU-58. Yeah, you got to do a 4G dive with an SU-58. They put them in a family model. That's freaking sick, dude.
Discovery, go and throttle.
So cool. Chosen one, tier 245. Talk to me, Goose. He's not flying, but he's in the plane. You know what? That's good enough, dude. All the cast pilots flew in Super Hornets. That's pretty cool. The Super Hornet is one hell of an airplane, man. You know what I would want to see at some point, or want to experience at some point, just once. Just once, a carrier takeoff. I'd love to be in on that just once, man, just once. Just guy in the yellow, the shooter. Send it. right off the head. That would be fun, man. I would enjoy every second of that. Oh, man. No, flying in a U-2 would be cool, but I'll take the carrier launch. I would want to, dude. That must be the craziest freaking feeling ever. Take off for the landing. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Jack actually got a picture of the jet that Maverick uses. I would love to experience that just once, man. That'd be really cool. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool, Thomas. Nice. Do we know when Tom will fly on Dragon? That'll bring a lot of public. Oh, I don't know. You might enjoy the back of your head with, hey, you got a helmet on, whatever. Those catapults don't look fast, but I bet they feel fast. Dude, acceleration is just getting sent like that. It's fun. I really enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. It's a great feeling. Just, yeah, baby! You know? It's really fun. Like I get a little bit of a rush, you know, like on the coasters that, you know, launch you out of the gates, you know. Those are fun, man. I enjoy that. Enjoy that all day, dude. Yeah, Dish, I got you. Acceleration is addicting, man. Doesn't matter if it's in a car, plane, rocket, train. Doesn't matter. It's really cool. It's a really good feeling. I don't know about trains, but I think you need a motorcycle. I don't buy a motorcycle out of principle, Wednesday. Look at me. Look at what I just said and think how good how well that would end. Yeah, it wouldn't end well. Acceleration is fine. Just doing it fast is not fine. Even riding a C2, God, is a blast. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, pretty much. Flying on an E2 sounds cool. Yeah. You have the wrong physique for a bike bus. You're too tall for a start. Well, I mean, Tessa, it doesn't even matter because I don't care because I don't like bikes.